and it's a prize about sustainable development. And we're going to have all explanation from our speakers that we will have the pleasure to introduce to you. And you can also follow this press conference on Zoom for all those who are here. And you can for sure follow, as usual, all the conferences from the Geneva Press Club. You can follow them on our website, www.genevapressclub.ch, or you can follow us also on Facebook Live or on our YouTube channel. So welcome again to all of you. And before going to the presentation by the speakers, we're going to start this session with a short video trailer. Just watch. So thank you very much. That was it, a short introduction. And now we are going to go to our speakers, and we will start today with Angela McCarthy. Angela is the CEO of the Earth Foundation that was created here in Geneva in 2020. Angela, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming. It is a pleasure to be with you today. I'm Angela McCarthy, the CEO of the Earth Foundation. If you're hearing about us for the first time, the Earth Foundation is a Geneva-based non-for-profit organization set up at the end of 2020 with the goal of inspiring, educating, mentoring, and empowering youth to accelerate positive change toward environmental sustainability. Our first initiative is the Earth Prize. That was the trailer you just watched. An annual $200,000 environmental sustainability competition for students aged 13 to 19 to come up with innovative solutions to tackle environmental issues of any kind. This is a free competition for teenagers everywhere. Now, by the end of registration phase in November 2021, we had thousands of students from 516 countries and 516 schools in 114 countries and territories registered, including from some of the most elite boarding schools around the world to schools in refugee camps and other challenging settings. We received hundreds and hundreds of incredible submissions, from which 34 teams were shortlisted to become the Earth Prize Scholars. And from those, our adjudicating panel had the challenging task of choosing 10 teams that would become our first ever finalists. And now I'm going to pass the mic over to Diana, our head of communications and operations, who will explain further the finalist phase of our competition. Please welcome Diana.
Thank you so much, Angela. And thank you everyone for watching. So from the beginning of the competition, all our students had access to the same support and resources that our team put together. This includes online learning videos specifically created for our participants to help them learn about key environmental topics and about young environmental entrepreneurs around the world who, through their ideas and solutions, are really making an impact, who we call our change makers. Additionally, participants had access to 30 mentors that we selected from top universities worldwide, who have accompanied our participants online in the last 5 months while they were working on and developing their ideas. We also have ambassadors who are helping us further our outreach, a youth board made up of 8 young exceptional students who advise us on how to keep the prize relevant to the target age. And of course, we are creating our alumni association to strengthen ties among its members to create a true ecosystem that continues beyond the Earth Prize competition. Now, the 10 teams that made it to the finalist phase have spent the last 3 weeks working on refining their ideas and having one-on-one calls with our ambassadors, our change makers and mentors to prepare for their live presentations to the adjudicating panel, in which they had the chance to pitch their projects and answer questions from the judges. Now, I would like to give a very warm welcome to one of those judges, Karen Wilson, who has actually met the finalist teams and will be able to provide you with more details about her journey as a member of the adjudicating panel. Thank you, Karen, for being here with us today, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Diana and Angela. And I have to start by giving a huge congratulations to both of you and to the Earth Foundation team. It's really amazing what you all have accomplished in this very first year. You make it sound so easy, but there was actually a tremendous amount of work and effort that went into this, and the way that you relentlessly reached out around the world to get these teams, more than 500 teams from all over the world, to apply. And I can say, because I've had the privilege to see these fresh ideas and to meet the teams, it's just incredible, the talent and the innovation that you managed to bring into this pipeline. And this is only the first year, so I'm really excited about the years to come as well. I'm very honored to be part of the adjudicating panel, of course, with my fellow adjudicating panelists, Rena, who chairs the AP, and Steve and Kissim and Professor Padwell. And we're from all over the world. We all have different experiences, different perspectives, different backgrounds, from business, from education, from science and policy. And it's just been really incredible, the time that we've spent together with these 10 finalists, listening to them pitch their ideas, looking at their materials, their videos, having a chance to interact with them. And I have to say, the 10 finalists were all outstanding. I mean, they're all in different ways. The innovation we saw, the different approaches, their dedication, the work that they put into their fresh ideas, many already piloting these ideas, the outreach that they've done, incredibly impressive. It made our job tremendously difficult. And I just, really have to say that we're so proud of all 10. And actually, I have to say we're proud of all of these students. I mean, we were able to see 34 applications in the final round, and all of those were really impressive as well. So really kudos to all the participants in the Earth Prize. So of course, we're all waiting with bated breath for Friday for the final announcement of the winners and the runners-up. And again, I just wanted to say that I think all of these young, innovative students, they're all winners. I mean, it really was quite an impressive group of teams that we saw. So thank you so much to all of the students that participated, to all of the schools that participated, to the Earth Foundation team, and of course, to my fellow adjudicating panel members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karin, for this presentation. Thanks to you also, Angela and Diana. Very, very interesting. It's amazing, actually, an amazing project. So I just repeat, and I will repeat it again later on, this prize ceremony will happen on this Friday, 25th of March. It will be showed on at 2 p.m. CE time, Central Time, and you can watch it following the links from our website or directly on the earthprizefoundation.org website that is dedicated to the prize. So if you have any question in the room, you just can hold up your electronic hands, and for this you can click on the bottom of the screen on reactions. So don't hesitate. And in the meantime, I have a few questions. First, it seems to be, so many 500, more than 500 projects, more than 100 countries. It's absolutely amazing. So how did you make this known to these schools, to these people? I mean, all over the world. It's I'm really surprised as a communication specialist that you did such a great job, as your foundation is just about 2 years old. So how did you do that?
Well, actually,
I don't know who wants to answer. Yes, Angela.
I'll jump in just because it was the founder, Peter McGarry, who came to me with this brilliant idea and asked me if I would like to do it with him. And I was absolutely thrilled. And from there, I said, we're just going to start with some of the schools that I know well. And it was literally one Zoom at a time initially. And once we started getting some traction with that, more and more people would hear about it. And then as the team grew, we expanded further, writing to journalists, embassies, consulates, webinars, every angle we could find. We were spreading the word. Everyone who was out, barbecues, lunches, dinners, every child I saw, I'm like, what school are you at? So it was pretty much like that. And then eventually more and more people, thanks also to this incredible technology that we have, they were able to hear about it and to start to register.
And so where did you start at the very beginning? Where were the schools you're talking about? You talked first, and when was that? It was at the moment you founded the foundation, or?
Pretty much. It was almost very quickly after the discussion I had with Mr. McGarry. By November, I was already reaching out to schools. Actually, I reached out originally to my boarding school here in Villars. And from there, I actually also reached out to school networks, which were fantastically helpful. The Round Square, Nord Anglia, who, of course, they're associated to multiple schools all over the world, and they were very excited. So they shared through their network. And we were just really thrilled by the incredible feedback we were getting. We didn't know what to expect at all. We had no idea if anyone was going to sign up, of course, but each Zoom, we realized more and more how this was something that teachers felt was really missing in schools today. Environmental sustainability is really very rarely taught properly, or it's on a very small scale. So that's really why they were very excited that we were coming to them. Of course, it's free to register. And on top of that, we were creating all these support lines, be it the learning content that we created with professors from EPFL and our professor Mario Salamone, and with the head of strategy, to also reaching out to 30 mentors. We had over 58, I believe, who applied all over the world. So we chose 30 mentors who are university all over the world to also be showcasing what they've done and then helping to mentor online and support the students. We had the youth board and ambassadors. So this support ecosystem that we were creating was very appealing. So that's really where the traction came.
If I could just add, what I find incredible is how far this reached into countries around the world, also in developing countries. So it started with networks and networks of networks, but there were so many amazing teams from developing countries around the world, and how the Earth Foundation team managed to reach into these communities and pull out these incredibly innovative young teams. It's just really amazing.
Very interesting. So can you tell us a little bit more about where the projects come from, these 500 projects about or more? Are there 1, 2, 3, 4 main countries from where these projects were created?
Well, so actually, we had 516 schools in over 114 countries and territories, and well over 650 teams that signed up. And it was very interesting to start watching where these schools were coming from. So it really was an enormous spread from literally all over the world. And you can see it in our 10 finalists. So the countries of our 10 finalists, maybe I'll give that to you, Deanna, so that you can share a little bit.
Yeah, tell us who is winning the prize now.
Well, I can't tell you that, but we'll tell you the 10 finalists where they are located, and you'll see the spread.
Yeah, thank you, Angela. We'll find out on Friday who's winning the Earth Prize. But yeah, we really had an amazing spread in terms of countries and territories. The 10 finalist teams, they are from, as far as South Korea, Vietnam to Jamaica, for example. So really, it's a good mix. I can give you the 10 countries because each finalist team comes from a different country, which in itself is already quite amazing, I think. But yeah, we have a finalist team in Jamaica, another one in Switzerland, in Kenya, in the UK, in Vietnam, South Korea, Canada, the United Arab Emirates, and Taiwan.
And Canada.
And Canada?
Yeah.
And Canada, of course, our Team Gators.
Yes.
Yes, and Canada. So really, that can give you a sense of how far it really spread. And as you asked, yes, of course, in some countries, we had a ton of teams registering. I think in a very organic way, meaning, in larger countries, we had the biggest amount of teams, right? So if we look at the US, at India, we had a lot of teams from these countries, but really I'd say it was a really good mix. We had, schools where, they would have up to 16 different teams because the students were really involved, and the supervisor guiding the Earth Prize project and kind of encouraging the kids, or the students, I should say, was really on it. So. Yeah. So, some other schools, it was more student-led, where the student, found out online, on Facebook, on Instagram about the project and decided to apply for it on their own. So really, there was a good mix.
And if I could just add quickly, yes. When the adjudicating panel reviewed the 34 and then the 10 finalists, we did it blind. So we didn't know which countries these teams were from. So we were worried. We were worried about whether there would be a geographic balance, but it turned out like that without us knowing. So it's really incredible.
So at the end of the day, can we know if there are these 10 finalists? Are they, each one is from another country?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and from around the world. I mean, no continent has been forgotten in this.
Almost. Oceania would be the last one. We did have students register from Australia,
yes,
and different islands. We had, people from the Marshall Islands, from Fiji. Yeah. So we really reached, all places, all continents. But to the finalist phase, I believe we have 4.
And one thing I'd like to add, which is something very important to us, is in the early days, when we say that this is for students everywhere, we really meant everywhere and in all circumstances. So apart from the elite schools, what was briefly touched upon earlier is we also have schools that are at refugee camps, which is something for us that was very.
Can you tell us in which camps?
We have them in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and West Bank. So, that for us was really something very important, to have those students that are sitting in refugee camps have the opportunity to participate alongside schools all over the world. And we also have from Kibera, which is the largest slum outside of Nairobi, with 1 million people living there, a school that was set up by a foundation also enter the competition. So this is something that has been very inspiring for all the students that we speak to. They're so excited that those students are there.
Let me just ask a question to Karin, because Karin has to leave at 3 p.m. sharp. you just said before that you did that on a blind way of choosing, right? So could you tell a little bit when you were looking at those projects, could you tell from where this project was coming from, or did you really have no idea? I mean, when a project comes from a refugee camp, I guess it's not the same than if it comes from Boston in the United States. Can you feel that through the project? Karen,
Yes.
we can't see you anymore.
Oh.
Can you actually?
Sorry, I turned on my mic and off my video. Yeah, when we were reviewing the 34 to get to the 10 finalists, it was blind. And of course, we could tell from the applications whether it was a developing or a developed context. Sometimes there were hints and we had some idea, but otherwise we didn't know. For the 10 finalists, we did, because we actually met the teams through Zoom. They presented to us and we grilled them with the Q&A. And I have to say, it was so impressive to see how these young people stood up to our tough questions. But, you know, this was something that we had to really take into consideration. You know, how do you balance also a younger team to an older team, to a team in a developing context, to a team in a developed context, to a team that's more technology-based, to one that's more sort of practical on the ground, but something that could potentially be inspirational and replicated by kids all over the world in developing countries and developed countries. So it was all these trade-offs. We had quite some long sessions, and you know, but I think a lot of such great teams and lots of ideas for future years as well. And I just wanted to say that one of the important things of the Earth Prize is not just the process and the winners, but the fact that all of these scholars will be part of an ongoing ecosystem where they can continue to be part of the Earth Prize, continue to learn and grow and work with others, be part of the alumni. And we hope some of these teams will reapply in the future with new ideas. So really, it's been inspirational to be part of this. And certainly a lot of young people around the world have been inspired and really motivated to focus on environmental sustainability. So again, a huge thanks and kudos to the foundation.
So were you able to reach quickly a consensus about these 10 finalists, or did you have hard fights in the jury? What was the tone there?
It was not easy. I mean, it's not easy. They're all impressive, and you can balance all these different dimensions. So we had to take many different angles on it, both qualitative and quantitative. It was not easy, but they all have done an amazing job, and they all deserve recognition, which they do. The 10 finalists, I believe they all are recognized as the finalists. And again, all of the scholars are recognized for the great job that they did in the earlier phase as well. So again, a huge congratulations to all of these young people.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen Wilson, who is in the jury of the Earth Prize Foundation. I think you will have to leave us. Thank you for your input. And now I just go back to Angela and Diana. Can you please put back your mic? Thank you. So explain us just one thing that seems important to me. So there is a $200,000 will be distributed between the finalists, but is it a winner take all, or how is it distributed, this reward?
Yes. So in fact, the $200,000 is divided. The winning team receives $100,000 that's split between the school and the team itself. There are 3 runners-up that receive $25,000 each for their school. Then we also have the Educator of the Year for $12,500 and the Mentor of the Year for $12,500. Now, the Educator of the Year, that was chosen, in fact, by students that put in an application to share and showcase how wonderful and inspiring their teacher was for them, which was very powerful stories. And we have our professor, our advising professor, Salamone. He was in charge of deciding which teacher would not. And then the mentor of the year, we had all the students vote online for their favorite mentor. And that's how the mentor of the year was chosen. And that adds up to 200,000.
And now what's going on? I mean, the next step after the winners are designated, will they be able with the prize to implement their project, or is it just a reward? What's going on after that?
Absolutely. So in fact, they will choose how they wish to use the money, but it has to be in regards to either the project or something sustainable or something for their school. Maybe they need a recycling machine. There are phases where they will get approval for that amount of money to be used correctly. But otherwise, yes, they can absolutely use it to implement whatever their solution was. And the whole idea and the power behind this is we want the solutions to be brought to life. And this is where we'll be able to showcase the impact and the students, and they can come back and share their incredible stories with the younger ones that are coming into the Earth Prize. And that's all going to happen through the alumni, which is what we're working on right now.
Okay, so we will see those finalists that you will be present next Friday, 25th of March at 2 p.m. We will see them again, probably 1 year later at the latest, so that they can tell how their project has gone forward and what they were able to realize. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We think that's really what's going to be powerful and inspirational for all the students around the world and gets them more excited about participating in the competition.
Okay. Can you tell us a few words about how this foundation is founded? Who are the mentor, how you say, the founders who put the money into that?
Yes.
Can you tell us more?
Yes, absolutely. So it's Peter McGarry, who's an Irishman, father of 4. And so he is behind the initial idea that he came to me and shared with me, which I thought was fantastic. And we agreed that we would do this together, but he is fully funding the entire operations and the prize money. This became something very important to him. Actually, he was very inspired by the marches on the Friday afternoons, which one day he was at his office and he heard a racket at the window, and he went to the window and he saw all these students in the streets that had a lot of passion, a lot of anger, and he actually didn't know what it was all about. But he opened his local newspaper the next day and saw a central photograph of all the students with banners, and he saw his daughter right at the front. So he was pleasantly surprised, and he spoke to her about it, and she explained, what this was all about. And he said, it's amazing because it's created an incredible amount of awareness worldwide. But if you really want to make a long-term impact and change, you have to do much more than that. And that's how this started. And that's how the desire and the passion to channel the energy of those students into something positive came about.
Great. Thank you very much. I'm not sure there are questions now, but we discussed very largely the scope of your Earth Foundation Prize. Very interesting. If you want more information, you can turn towards our website, www.pressclub.ch, or for sure, you can go directly to the earthprizefoundation.org. Nice website where you get some more information about the prize. And as said, follow the ceremony of the final rewards on Friday 25th at 2 p.m. I guess that's it. Do you want a conclusive word for this?
Well, I just want to say thank you to those of you who joined us today, and we appreciate it. We're in the early stages, so it's really about just getting the word out and showcasing these amazing young students that have incredible ideas and could potentially really change our lives.
Thank you very much, Angela. Thank you, Diana, for this press conference. And we'll meet again at the end of the week then on your website to follow the ceremony, and wish good luck to all the 10 finalists. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.